The October 2025 crash proved that too. Even with more maturity and regulation in the ecosystem, Bitcoin dropped from 126,000 to 105,000 in hours. That's like watching $19 billion evaporate almost instantly.
And what's interesting is that the trigger wasn't even technological, it was geopolitical. US China trade tensions. The fundamentals didn't collapse, but investor confidence did. It shows how emotion can override logic even in a supposedly decentralized market.
So let's unpack that a bit more. You mentioned euphoria earlier. How does that shift into panic so fast?
Think of it like a pendulum. On one side, you have euphoria. Everyone's convinced they're geniuses. On the other, you have despair. Everyone thinks it's the end. When prices rise, investors seek confirmation, not caution. Social media amplifies the noise. Influencers make wild predictions. Friends post screenshots of profits. And suddenly, buying feels like belonging. But the moment prices start to fall, that same network spreads fear. Panic selling accelerates the crash.
So it's not just numbers, it's collective emotion, like financial herd behavior.
Exactly. It's a psychological mirror, and herd behavior isn't unique to crypto. It's just more visible here because of the volatility. The emotions are raw, unfiltered, and constant. There's a saying in behavioral finance: markets are driven by stories, not spreadsheets.
I love that. Stories, not spreadsheets. So, in this story, who are the main characters? We hear about whales, small investors, and influencers, but who actually sets the tone?
It starts with the early adopters, the so called whales, during the accumulation phase. They buy quietly while the public is skeptical. Then, as prices rise, media attention and influencer hype fuel mass participation. By the distribution phase, whales are selling to the enthusiastic newcomers. And finally comes despair, when the newcomers panic sell at the bottom, often swearing never to invest again.
That's such a predictable human cycle: hesitation, excitement, denial, panic, regret. I've seen it in housing markets and even with pandemic stocks.
Exactly. The crypto market just speeds up that emotional loop. What takes years in real estate can happen in months or even weeks in crypto.